Hi, my name is Sylvia Lovina Chidi, and today I'm going to be talking about installing Windows Hyper-V and also installing Kali on Windows Hyper-V. Um, they're very quick sessions because I just want you to get the basic concept of installing Kali on Windows Hyper-V. Um, I have 8 slides here, and they will just talk us quickly through installing Kali. First of all, just to give you an understanding, if you've got Windows 10 on your laptop or you've got Windows 10 on your computer, but you want a few virtual PCs so that you can maybe do a bit of networking, you can use Hyper-V. Um, Windows 10 has an extra component called Hyper-V. And also, why Kali Linux? Kali Linux is so famous now. It's a Linux tool. You can download it off the internet, and he's got over 100 different type of cybersecurity tools. And in my uh, videos to come, I'll be going through some of these tools in detail with you. It's used for digital forensics and penetration testing. So if you really want to know Kali, you need to evaluate it. So you need to download it. It's free. It's open source from kali.org/downloads. Um, and last of all, you want to turn Hyper-V on your Windows 10, because if you don't turn that on, you can't really use Hyper-V. So the easiest way I always say to people is search for something. So if you type actually Windows features, you can see immediately there is something here that says turn Windows features on or off. And you can see from my presentation, just make sure that you have the entire Hyper-V management tools and the Hyper-V platform ticked and click OK. The rest is done for you so easily in seconds. I've done mine. So if we actually go into Hyper-V now, um, you can see that I have ticked those two areas already. I've installed my Hyper-V. I'm ready and set to go, and I can start installing virtual machines on my computer. So the next thing to do is, how do I get my Hyper-V manager up so I can start installing Kali? And it's so easy. Again, with Windows 10 you can just search for things. It will find the icon. So I've installed it. It's found the icon. I can pin that to my taskbar so I can have it here at the bottom so that I stop typing it, and I just need to click on it. So we are ready and set to go. The last bit, I just want to just quickly take you again through the quick steps. In Hyper-V, create a virtual machine. Make sure you have a virtual disk, have some memory, some CPU allocated to your virtual machine. Where you downloaded your Kali image, point that to your virtual disk. Do some partitioning if you have to. Do some basic configuration like setting your location, your time zone, and really set your password and usernames, and you're as good as finished. And then we can have a look at Kali. So that brings you to the end of my slideshow, and let's do this instead of talking. So very quickly, we're going to do a new virtual machine, and we're going to call this Kali. And I'm going to do this really quickly because I don't want to waste time. I'm accepting all the basic defaults. I just want a little bit more memory because, you know, I think one gig is just too small. But just for demo purposes, I've just increased that a little bit. And I'm not going to worry a lot about the network card, but in my next sessions, you may worry about that, because if you want to use this tool, you want to diagnose other networks or your network. And then I'll click next. And at this particular moment, I'm just going to maybe reduce that. I don't really need a large hard disk. 30 gigabytes is fine, and just say okay, and that's fine. Install later, or even in fact we can install now. So let's go to where my image is I've downloaded my image. That's my image. There you go. I've pointed my ISO file to where I've downloaded it, and I've kept everything simple. I've created a folder called Kali. That's where I downloaded my image. That's where I'm pointing my image file to, and next and finish. And just see how fast the magic happens. We have Kali. So we have created machine. It's not on, however, so let's switch that on. And once we switch it on, you can see this little window here, and we just click on that a little bit so that we can see what is happening. And you can see this is the live image of Kali right there. It's not complete, this is just the image, and it's asking me what do I want. And at this point I want a graphical install because I want to see everything. If you are inexperienced, you always want a graphical install. The reason why you want a graphical install is you want to be able to see everything. You are not really familiar with command line tools, so of course graphical installs make life a lot easier. And you can just follow the screen. Yeah, I want English. Let's keep the defaults, but since I am in the United Kingdom, I'll choose United Kingdom, British English. So you can see I'm doing the basic configuration of the language of my Kali. So, and you can now see it's installing additional components on my virtual PC. Kali is really important in the forensic industry. It's used for so many things in terms of cybersecurity and penetration testing. It has hundreds of tools. We'll be looking at some of those tools. Scanners that can scan websites, that can scan the network, that can scan wireless networks as well, and that can do a little bit of intrusion detection. So at the moment you can see that I'm just going to reduce this window a little bit and bring back my screen, and we just want to continue. We don't want to configure the network at this time. I just want to show you how Kali looks like. And yes, do I want to continue with the host name? Yes. Fine. At this particular moment I'm just keeping the password simple. So it's really simple, but when you're doing it on your own network you want to make sure it's very secure. But just for the sake of this demo, I want to just keep it simple to show you. In this particular case I want to use my entire disk because I'm just doing this as an evaluation. I'm going to keep all the defaults. I'm not going to experiment. I'm just going to keep everything and just keep saying continue. Okay, so write changes, yes, and then this takes a couple of minutes while it's installing and configuring the system. Right, so we're coming to the end of the session. The disk has been configured. Do you want to use it? No, I don't really want to use a mirrored network. And then we get to the final part of the screen which says configure the package manager. Now one of the things that I want to say to you is that if you did not use the graphical interface, it's actually much faster and it will install Kali very quickly without asking you many questions, and it's actually much faster. So this is taking a little bit of time. Install that. Yeah, let's just accept the defaults, and we'll just accept all defaults and just continue. We are now almost getting towards the end of the installation. You can see it is saying finishing the installation, and hopefully we can see very shortly how Kali looks like. So I'm going to keep quiet. I'm actually going to look at the screen because I want to focus. I don't want to make mistakes. And yeah, so there we go. You can see the installation is complete. Now all you need to do is just click continue.